I'm a chef from Italy. I know my shit. It may sound cocky, arrogant, pretentious. I know who I am, I know what I'm worth, and I know what my knowledge is. You go to a restaurant, you do a 5, 7, 9 course dinner, individually plated, chef explains it at the kitchen. I do the same exact thing in your home. So let me educate you.
Gianluca Ruggieri is the viral sensation serving up authentic Italian flavor with a modern twist.
As a private chef and content creator, he's captured the taste buds and interest of over 250,000 fans and counting.
Your story, that dark hole that you were in.
It was the COVID years. And I'm living at my grandmother's house. I started having panic attacks. I would smoke 7, 8, 9 joints a day. Gained 40 pounds. I experienced real depression. I locked myself up in my room and I didn't leave it. And I said to myself, I'm never gonna have sex in my life ever again. I'm done. My mind stopped working. My body stopped working.
And then,
yeah, I have no shame in saying this,
we find it very interesting that the majority of you who watch and listen to this show aren't yet subscribed to our channels across Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It would mean the world to us if you can do us that small kindness. It allows us to continue to bring on amazing guests week after week and continue to provide you with amazing value and content. It's the only thing we'll ever ask of you. If you can hit that follow or subscribe button, it would mean the world to us. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode. Gianluca, I'm very curious here because your mom and dad are Italian.
Yes.
And you've lived in Italy.
Yes.
So as someone who's visited Italy only twice in his life and wants to go back and fell in love with it, I gotta ask, why would you come back to Toronto? And I say back because Toronto is part of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Toronto has been my second home since I was a kid. My mom was born and raised in Toronto from immigrants from Calabria, lived here her first 20 years of her life, went to Rome. I was born and raised there. And I used to come here during the summer to spend time with my grandparents and obviously to get out of my parents' feet for 3 months a year. Sounds amazing for them. So I can say that I pretty much grew up here. Toronto's always been my second home.
Okay.
As a city, as a culture, I was the kid that always came back to school from America, the North America, Canada, with all the cool stuff, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Shocks, like all the stuff that we got here, we would get in Italy 2-3 months later.
Okay.
And I was always the kid bringing back that stuff before everyone else.
Made you the cool kid?
Pardon me?
Made you the cool kid?
No, it didn't work. No, I tried, it didn't work. But I always had that feeling that like I kind of belonged here more than I belonged there.
Why?
I just, you know what it is? Like when we watch movies, we see, I'm talking about us in Rome and Italy, we see the big skyscrapers, see the big cars and the pools and the big cities and everything. We fantasize about that world. So we kind of always feel very attracted to that because Italy's completely different. The same way someone like yourself, or maybe people here, oh, l'Italia, la dolce vita, Positano, the beach, this is amazing. You want what you don't have, right? And because I just love the whole North American culture, I just felt like, yeah, this is cool. I want that in life.
What is North American culture to you?
Big. Everything big. Big cars, big skyscrapers, big bank accounts, big, that's whatever, but everything big, everything massive.
It's important.
Everything massive.
Yeah.
That's the way I see. Big portions, big food.
Yeah.
Big everything. Big heads. Yeah, big everything.
Egos.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So you're a chef.
Yes.
You're a content creator. You've done a series of stints at various restaurants.
Yes.
But you didn't always want to be a chef. I mean, there was a point where you were doing something completely different. And if I read the bio correctly, you were 4 exams away from graduating and going down one path in life,
Yes.
and then decided, nope,
Yes.
I'm doing my own thing?
No, this isn't it. I was always a very artsy kid. Played a lot of sports, played a lot of instruments, loved to draw, loved to read. I wanted to be an architect when I was a kid. Or at least someone where drawing would have taken me somewhere.
Right.
You grow up, you realize, okay, that's cool, but maybe that's not kind of your thing. I didn't know who I wanted to be until I was 20 years old, because I go to high school. I failed 2 years of high school. Failing 2 years of high school in Italy means that, so we're here, you go to different classrooms where there's different teachers that have their own classroom, and you meet different kids every time. In Italy, you're stuck with the same 25 people, classmates, brothers and sisters, however we want to call them, for 5 years. And the teachers come to your class.
Oh, interesting.
Completely different.
So you don't go from class to class?
You don't go from class to class. With that being said, you interact with way less people in 5 years of high school than you do here.
Right. That's the
Right?
trade-off.
So that's another thing that like also shapes you in a certain way.
Right.
In Italy, if you fail more than 3 subjects, you fail the whole year. So imagine that you're in your 3rd year of high school, you fail. Next year, you're with kids that are 1 year younger than you, and all your friends go ahead to the next year. That does something to you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's a failure. You feel like you failed. You feel like you failed the people around you, your parents. I mean, you're still a kid, so you have one responsibility, which is go to school and just get good grades, and you don't do that. I mean, you don't give a fuck at that age. Let's be real, but you realize it later. So
But it
that
still messes with you mentally.
It does.
Yeah. I mean,
It
to
does.
see all your friends go forward and...
Yeah. There's this thing that we do in Italy. It's called Il Viaggio dei 100 giorni, which means that 100 days before your high school graduation, the class goes on a trip. I wasn't on that trip because my class advanced. Sorry. I stayed where I was. They advanced.
Yeah.
So that does something to you, right? I'm 31. I don't know how old you
37.
are. 37. If you hang out with a 35-year-old or a 39-year-old, it's the same thing, more or less. When you're 16, a 17-year-old
Very different.
is very old, and a 15-year-old is a kid.
Yeah.
So at that age, that does a lot, right?
Yeah.
I failed 2 years of high school. So I do grade my 4th year of high school 3 times pretty much instead of once. And
3 times.
yeah, because I failed once, I failed a
And then you
second
did it.
time, and I went again. But I grew up with the old school mentality, no tapping, the old school mentality of if you don't get a piece of paper, you're going to end up under a bridge. And that's stuck in my head, even though it really didn't do anything because I still wasn't that good in school,
Right.
which I blame partially on myself for sure. But I mean, can you really blame a 16-year-old? You're a kid. You don't know who you are, what you want to be in life.
Right. And we generally put a lot of expectations, or a lot of pressure rather, on young teenagers whose brains aren't fully developed to decide what the next 40 years of their lives are going to look like.
Exactly.
I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't actually go to university or college right after high school. You should take a year off to volunteer, work, travel, really understand yourself a little more, and then make a decision. Because when I was in university, there were so many people dropping out of courses and changing programs left, right, and center. I'm like, outside of the fact that most of the way our system is set up is a cash grab, these kids don't really know what they're doing.
Very true. Yeah, I agree with that. It's even worse with us in Italy because there's scuola media, which is, because here it's elementary, middle school, and high school. It goes grade 1 to 13. We have elementary, grade 1 to 5. Then you change the school, you go to middle school, new classmates, grade 7 to 9. And then the last grades, you're in another school.
Yeah.
So in scuola media, when you're 13 years old, you have to decide there's different kinds of high school. There's a scientific orientation, there's a literature orientation, there's a classical studies orientation. How the hell do I know at 13 what I want to do, man?
Yeah.
Like I barely have hair under my armpits and whatever. Like, how do you think I know what I want to be in life? But going back to that, I fail high school mentality. You got to go to school. You got to do it. You got to do it. I kind of wanted to redeem myself with my parents. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to university. I'm going to crush university. And I thought of all the things that I wanted to do. And psychology always attracted me a lot. I've always been attracted by like the psychology word in general. I've always been an observer and a listener, even ever since I was a kid. When you're talking to me, 90% of people are listening to the words. I look at everything. Body language, the way you move, the way you look at me. Like, it's just something that I've always done as a kid. So I said, let me apply that because that's something cool. I really like it. My mom talked me into getting a restaurant job, working as a server. So yeah, let's try it out. I like food. It's cool. At this time, I've been cooking, man. Like,
just for pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 19 years old. When I go to university, I've been cooking for the past 9 years. And I don't mean reheating pasta in the microwave or making popcorn on the stove. I'm talking cooking, making meals for friends and family. I've always loved it. I go to uni. I love the first year. Second year is whatever. 2.5 years in, I'm like, Mom, Dad, I'm done. I got to cook for a living. Like, this isn't for me. On a book all day, every day, you go to the professor. Yeah, okay, 30, whatever. Because grades go from 1 to 30 in Italy. I never got a 30.
1 to 30.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay.
So guess what? I want to cook. So all the money you put in,
Gone.
out of the roof, it's gone.
Were they supportive?
Not at the beginning.
I bet not.
Not at the beginning.
Yeah.
Can you blame them?
Well, they just invested those funds, and on top of that, you'd already failed, and on top of that,
There you go.
they're like,
There you go.
cooking is just a job. It's not a career.
Let's go 50.
You're not a doctor. You're not a lawyer. Yeah.
No. Being a chef now is cool.
Back then it wasn't. No.
And no, absolutely. You became a cook if you did not know what to do in life. Back 20, 30, 40 years, even worse. 10, 15 years ago, I remember talking about it, even while I was in high school, because I kind of always had that thing in me. But it was always, oh, do you want to work 14-hour days? Do you want to skip Christmas? Do you want to not be here when we're having Easter and all of that? It's like, nah, actually, no, that's kind of bad. And then I did it for years, and I loved every second of it, man. But
I've had a lot of chefs on talk about how they've loved it because it's their passion, but people fail to understand how difficult it really is to just work in a kitchen all those hours.
I'll tell you this. There's the physical and there's the mental conversation that we could have about working in a kitchen. Physical, you get used to it, bro. You get used to standing for 14 hours. Yeah, you're tired at the end of the day, but you just get used to it.
Right.
When you start working out, you run a mile and you can do it. After a month, 2 months, that mile is easy. The same way working 12 hours isn't easy at the beginning. Then after a couple months, you just get the heck out of it.
Yeah.
You get used to it. The mental obviously is a common conversation that every chef always has, because there is that aspect of missing out on a lot in life, especially at that age, in your 20s. Like, all your friends are going out, having fun. You're there in the kitchen. You're investing on yourself, of course, for a better future. Whatever a better future means for you, whether it can be your development as a chef or investing and putting in the hours to get a better position next year, whatever it is. I wouldn't say I struggled mentally in the kitchen. I'm very happy to say that. Also because I moved here in 2019. I had my first kitchen job. Was it 2013? I think, if I'm not mistaken. So those 5-6 years, I slowly started to become the chef that I was going to be today. And then I just left and I started the life here.
Is there a scenario, like, can you have work-life balance as a chef?
100%, man.
You can work a kitchen and still experience life outside of it.
You can. Okay. It obviously depends where you're working. If you're working 16-hour days, 7 days a week, 6 days a week, First of all, it's your choice. You decide to do that. There's plenty of other jobs. There's plenty of other kitchen jobs. I remember I used to work with this older gentleman. He was in his 50s. This is the first restaurant where I worked. God, bro. I used to get there at 8 and leave at midnight, 1 a.m. every day. No break. No break. My break was, go smoke a cigarette, grab a coffee, and then come back in. And my dad used to come pick me up every night, dude. Because I used to work downtown in Rome. There weren't any night buses that brought me back here. So my dad would come pick me up 1 a.m., drive me home, start over 6 days a week. And there was this guy, he's 50, 55 years old. And he also lived an hour away from the restaurant. And he was there those hours. So I'm thinking, is this guy nuts?
Or does he sleep?
Does he even sleep? But then I just realized he loves this. Like, he made this his life.
It's an art form.
Yeah. He enjoys it. It makes him happy. Being here 16 hours a day makes him happy. So, yes, you can find a work-life balance if you're working in a kitchen because you make your own.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the lifestyle you like to live.
Well, so you went from working in a kitchen to now you create content around your own recipes and that kind of thing.
I like to say I do 3 things. My main job is working as a private chef.
Okay.
So you go to a restaurant, you do a 5, 7, 9 course dinner, individually plated, chef explains it at the kitchen. I do the same exact thing in your home.
Okay.
That's the main thing that I do. It isn't, but I like to say it is. Like, it used to be up until a few months ago. Now the content has got better and better. But I'm never going to stop working as a private chef, bro. It's also a pride thing, right? I like to say I'm a private chef that does cool videos. I run the Supper Club.
Okay.
The Supper Club is a monthly appointment where I give people the experience of an Italian dinner. With Italian dinner, mind this, it's not just the food, it's the experience. Food here is nutrition. You eat, you get up, you wash your dishes, and you leave. Bro, on Sundays, we're sitting for 3-4 hours at the table in Italy. We're enjoying food. We're enjoying the company. We're having fun. We're laughing. The stereotypical and the wine and the tomato and the grapes and the everything, it's true. Like, we do that. But because we take that moment and we make it super important. And then there's also food. The meal itself, lunch or dinner, is super important for us Italians, dude. Like, and here too, because at the end of the day, when do you talk to your parents? When you're sitting at the kitchen table. When is that only moment during the day when you can kind of wind down and relax at the kitchen table? So I kind of try to deliver that experience to people here by creating these set regional family style meals where I also introduce them, guide them, and educate them on regional Italian cuisine, which leads me to the third thing, which is content creation. I started my content creation journey 3 years ago. I've always wanted to be on TV or on a screen ever since I was a kid. I was always kind of the class clown as a kid. I liked the attention. I liked to make people laugh. I liked to, I liked it. Excuse me, it is what it is. So, and I always knew that I had the personality to eventually do well in front of a camera. But I also wanted to educate people on Italian food. Because when I moved here, Italian food is pasta, pizza, tiramisu, e cannoli. No. Calm down, let's have the conversation again. So because I was also working as a culinary instructor, I wanted to educate people on what real Italian food is. And when you think, let me ask you this, if you think of an Italian dessert, what comes to mind?
I don't eat desserts.
Terrible. Tiramisu was the right answer, right? Tiramisu is the most famous
I would have
Italian
probably
dessert
guessed
there is.
something around that or some sort of cake.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants, bars, cafes don't do it right here. And I've heard people saying, I had tiramisu at X place and it was the best I've ever had. Guess what, man? It's not. It's not authentic. It's not a real tiramisu. So I started reviewing tiramisus around the city on TikTok. I did 75 tiramisus, if I'm not mistaken. And this was just, again, a way of educating people.
That's a lot of dessert.
That's a lot. But dude, I would go around the city, get 3 or 4, have the bite, and then just give it to friends or family, the concierge. Yeah, I would not eat the whole thing, man. No. Sometimes I didn't want to eat the whole thing because it was not good. But educating people on that, right?
Yeah.
Started getting some traction on social media. Oh, tiramisu guy, tiramisu here, get invited to events and stuff like that. But then I said to myself, first of all, I don't want to be another food reviewer in Toronto. Everyone's a fucking food reviewer now, man. Like, come on.
And most food reviewers are not even good food reviewers.
Dude,
it's
and
it's more so just showing you that this food exists, period.
That's
and
it.
That's the end of the
That's
review.
it.
I'm like,
this is what we do in this
anything.
It's aggravating and annoying, bro. Especially because now I'm in the industry. So I know that 9 people out of 10 were paid by that restaurant to do the food review. This is the best shawarma. This is the best wings I've had. Yeah, and then you say that in your last 10 videos. But whatever, it's okay, to each their own. I didn't want to be another one of those guys. Even though I've always made it very clear in my videos, like, I'm a chef from Italy. I know my shit. It may sound cocky. It may sound arrogant. It may sound pretentious. I know who I am. I know what I'm worth, and I know what my knowledge is. So let me educate you on what a tiramisu should be. And that's the way I did my reviews, and they were liked. I'm happy to say that. Like, it did very, very, very well. But then I said, I'm a chef, dude. Like, let me get out of here and start making videos. So I thought about the series. I printed an Italy map, and I remember the whole script. Think Italian food tastes all the same. Think again, there's 20 regions in Italy, all completely different from language, culture, and food. I'm going to bring you on a culinary journey from north to south and cook one dish from Italy once a week for 20 regions. Comment below what region you want me to start with. Boom. At that time, I was trying to get all the information. When should I post? What time should I post? What music should I use? Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Monday morning at 7 because people are on the subway. I post that video on a Thursday at 6 p.m. That video gets 2 million views, and I get 30,000 followers just from the intro. Like, whoa, okay, this is something cool. Something's working. And then I just started. Every week, I would do a different region from Italy. This is Fileia from Calabria. These are Canederli from Trentino. These are little things like that. And people loved it, bro. People loved it.
Why do you think they did? Why do you think people resonated with that versus the food reviewer versus the person just saying, hey, I had this at this restaurant that's Italian food?
Because, first of all, it's homey, hearty, rustic food. It's food that you can make at home. It's food that maybe your friend's grandmother or maybe your grandmother used to cook for you when you were a kid, but you haven't heard about it or seen it in Toronto because no one makes that real authentic food here. So you're like, oh, wow, this brings me back. You send it to your friend. Yo, look what this guy made. Nonna Lydia used to make that. Or Zia Luisa used to make that generations ago, years ago. And people loved it.
Has there ever been an instance where you've made food and the reaction wasn't what you liked and it made you doubt yourself?
For myself?
Yeah.
Food that I made?
That you've made. Yeah, food that you've made for someone else. Or even a moment in your career where you're just like, I feel like I'm not where I need to be.
The only time in my life where I felt where I wasn't where I needed to be was in psychology. The second I started my food journey, I knew exactly that was the right place. Because I've always been a very indecisive person, as in, I start something, I get bored, move to the next one. That's why I was telling you. I played a lot of musical instruments. Bass, not that much. Guitar, piano, drums, bass. Sports, I played every sport you can think about. Clothes, I would change my style every day. Like things like that. Cooking is the one thing that stuck to me. I never got bored of it. And I don't every day. Like every day, even if I'm working for an event or whatever, I get home and I cook for myself.
So on days, let's say, where you wake up and you're not feeling you're like yourself, you're not feeling great, you're feeling down, you're tired, you're irritated, whatever. How do you get yourself out of that?
I have days where I don't.
You just sit with it?
Sadness is important, bro.
Why?
Have you watched that movie Inside Out?
Sounds familiar.
Please watch that
Which one is
movie.
that one?
It's that, I don't remember who did it. It's the movie about the different emotions.
Okay.
There's happiness, sadness, anger. It's a motion animated picture. Como se dice? Animated picture. It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And it follows the life of this teenager that's growing up, and basically the main characters are all, they're this like cartoonish representation of the different emotions.
Interesting.
So there's joy, there's sadness, there's happiness. I said that already. There's anger, there's jealousy,
fear.
There's fear, yeah. And they're like in their brain, and they're in this big control room, and whatever they decide to do, the person does that, right? And it just shows you how important, like sometimes, dude, you need sadness. Like sometimes you just need to stay in bed all day and be miserable and cry it out and whatever. Holding emotions in never helped me in life. Never helped me as an individual, Gianluca. Maybe it helped you, maybe it helped other people, but sadness is important, man. You don't have to always portray yourself as that cool, everything's amazing, happy guy. How you doing today? Okay. That's it. You want to hear more about it? Happy to tell you about it. It also helps a lot to speak out.
Yeah.
Helped me a lot. Helps me every day.
How so?
It's you kind of make things real. An emotion that I have, sometimes when you speak emotions out loud, they become concrete. They become like, it's almost like you can feel them, you can touch them.
Mm-hmm.
You visualize them and you accept them more. And that helps. That helps a lot. I have days where I don't want to do anything. I don't want to work out. I don't want to cook. I don't want to work. Sometimes I stay in bed and I'm on my phone for 2-3 hours scrolling. Do I feel like a slob? No. Because the past days I'm on the grind constantly. Sometimes I just need that moment to relax and do absolutely nothing.
Why is that part important? The part of, and the reason I ask that is because there are moments where even I struggle with, when I do something and I'm on the grind and I'm working and I'm putting in all the effort, I'm going 110. You're an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. You only get back what you put in. So you're putting in 110
For sure.
all hours of the day.
100%.
And then on the mornings when you wake up and you're like, I got nothing in the tank to give right now. I struggle admittedly with feeling like I'm slacking off or falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always curious to hear how people don't let that negative self-talk interfere in those moments where your body is trying to tell you, hey, you need a break.
It's a mindset. You just got to accept the fact that you need to rest. You need to do nothing. Doesn't mean you're able to.
Mm.
Like those days where I say, I'm going to do absolutely nothing today. I'm going to just chill. Maybe I'm going to go to the gym. No, see, that's too much already. Maybe I'm going to cook. No, that's too much already. Sit down and do absolutely nothing all day. Out of 20 times that I have that conversation with myself, it works twice, probably. But those 2 times, bro, the day after, I'm a superhero. I feel like a god. Because we're machines. We need to rest, dude.
Yeah.
Even though we feel like it's wrong, we need to rest. It's super important.
Do you find in Italy in particular, like in North America, men in particular are still challenged with this idea of talking about it's okay to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have emotions, to let them out, work through them. Is that the same in Italy?
Honestly, I can't answer that because I feel like I've entered that part of being an adult when I moved here. Okay. I moved here at 25 years old, and that's when I became a completely different person. I've always been very open about my emotions and everything, but I've always dealt about my emotions when I was a kid till I was 25. I went through a lot of stuff back in Italy, so I was just really looking at myself.
Like what?
School, my parents' divorce, instability, unhappiness, not knowing who I wanted to be, what I wanted to be. Age, again, like at 20, 21 years old, I said, okay, I want to cook. So imagine living 20 years, especially in high school, with that pressure. Oh, you need a job. You need to get a piece of paper. You need this, you need that. Like a lot of kids envision themselves of what they want to be as an adult. Like, yeah, maybe I'm going to have a 9-to-5 job. Maybe I'm going to own a company or whatever. I had no idea what I was going to be or look like as an adult. So it was hard to imagine a future at that age. 20 years old, yeah, you're not an adult, but you're not a kid. You kind of should have an idea of who or what you want to be. I had no idea.
And feel free to, like, if you're not comfortable having this conversation, so just let me know. But at what age did your parents get divorced? How old were you?
It was a long process. It lasted a few years, but they made it official. I don't even know, man. A few years ago, 2-3 years ago, I think.
So recent.
Yeah, super recent. So I was an adult processing that whole thing. It's not easy, man. No, I never will.
Why?
I just never will, man. It's if with processing you mean accepting it and you mean understanding it, yeah, sure I have. But I still have scars of what that did to me. That is something that I don't want to touch.
Are you not concerned that leaving it untouched will actually, it'll just grow and fester?
No. I've dealt with it in many ways, many times. I moved here because, I don't want to say that, but like moving here was also a kind of an escape from that situation as well.
Has it shaped how you see relationships?
1,000,000%. I'm way more cynical. Way more cynical. I was never a marriage kind of guy. I have a girlfriend we've been dating for 4 years, Angel. But I don't feel like I ever want to get married, for example. I don't know. I just don't feel that you got to sign a piece of paper or put a rock on her finger just to make it official. Oh, now we're married. We're going to live happily ever after. No, like for me, marriage is just a contract with all the little 1.1, this belongs to you, this belongs to me, and whatever. Because I've seen what marriage does to people, what bad marriages do to people. As much as you love someone, then you can hate them after.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that. I don't want
that. That can happen in a regular relationship.
Exactly. But marriage as like a definition is just something that doesn't belong to me. Doesn't belong to me.
You know, there was a point in time in my life where I was married and then got divorced right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Okay.
That's when the split happened.
Right.
And I had to go through that journey under lockdown. And that was hard as fuck.
Big time.
And I told myself, similar to you, not only do I never want to get married again, I never want to be in a relationship again. I became super cynical.
Yeah.
And then I met Mila, and she kind of changed that for me in a sense where she saw she saw my cynicism and didn't fight me on it, just kind of let it ride out. And eventually it kind of fell apart, or went away rather. And I remember, it's funny because we went to Italy, I mentioned, and I was thinking, I was like toying in the back of my mind. One of her friends was like, "Are you going to propose? You guys have been dating for a few years now. You're going to propose." And I was like, you know what? There's still that hesitation in me.
Big time.
And I'm like, as long as that hesitation exists, I'm not ready for this. Because I don't want to do that to me. I don't want to do that to her. And as soon as we were in Rome, and Rome was the final leg of our trip, we round the corner to the Trevi Fountain. And as soon as we round the corner, there's a guy proposing to a girl.
Oh, wow.
And I saw that, and I was like, in that moment, I just thought to myself, whatever it is that I might be holding on to is a fear that I need to let go of. I'm not saying it's the same thing for you. I'm saying this is just my experience.
Yeah.
And the second thought that entered my mind right then and there was, I know that she wants to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And just because of my bad experience, I shouldn't deprive her of that experience in life because she wants that.
Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as I got back, I basically got on a call with her mom and I was like, I want to do this. And that was kind of the journey. But I totally understand the cynicism piece.
Yeah.
Because mine was a messy divorce too.
Mm-hmm.
It was ugly. It brought out the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, I'm like, if you literally fell asleep 2 years ago when everything was fine and woke up today, you'd be like, these are different people talking to each other.
Yeah.
And thankfully there was no kids in the scenario. But I'm always interested by this conversation because I don't ever think that there's a win-win when it comes to a separation like that. There's no positive outcome. I mean, it might be in the long run better for people to split up if they're not happy with each other. But there's ripple effects. There's lost relationships. There's broken relationships. And then that impacts you and it impacts other people in ways that you don't even realize.
For sure. Yeah. Maybe because it impacted me so much as the kid. I think it's very subconscious. Like I wouldn't be able to nail you down 3 reasons why I wouldn't want to get married. My grandmother said this one thing. She said, if you meet the right person, you're going to change your mind, bro. You are. And yeah, it did change me a bit. I'm not going to lie. If I didn't consider marriage at all 4 years ago, after I met my girlfriend, yeah, maybe it's there a little bit, for sure. Why not? Is it going to happen? I can't say yes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Do I want to be with this person for the rest of my life? 1,000,000%. No doubt about that. This girl saved my life, bro. Like, there's no way.
That's
it was
strong statement.
Yeah, 100%, man. It was the COVID years. I was at home. So I moved here. 2019, March. COVID happens.
March 2020.
March 2020. I go to Italy, November 2019. I come back. I'm at the airport. And I see on the news, there's a possible virus going out. If you guys were in the north of Italy or Milano, just monitor yourself. I was in Milano 2 days before getting a tattoo. This guy. No, what was it? I was in Zurich. Drove down to Milano to get a coffee with my friend, and then we drove back. Said, oh shit, we just see this shit in movies. No, it can't be. We're good. And now they're going to make movies about this probably. I'm surprised they still didn't do a COVID movie, by the way.
Yeah. It's 5 years
It's got to be in the works, man. It's got to be in the works. Come on. But I moved back and I'm living at my grandmother's house. Passed away 4 years ago. When COVID happened, and before I lead into this, I was always a family guy. Always very family driven. I wasn't like that as a kid. I became that later in life. Always very protective about my family. Family is the one thing that's going to stick with you forever, period. I've had best friends that I thought I was going to stick to for the rest of my life. Away. Wish them all the best in life, as I do with everyone that I've encountered. But you grow up because you both like Pokemon and you like soccer. Then you're growing up, so you're like, yeah, we're going in different directions. It's all good, right? So with that being said, COVID happens. I'm living with my grandmother. I live with my grandmother in her house. My aunts moved in as well for a few months, for a year and a half. Let's be real. A lot of people were going out. A lot of people were partying and meeting each other and whatever, which I don't judge whatever people do in life. Whatever makes you happy, I'm happy for you. But I wasn't that guy. I felt that protection instinct and that protection obligation towards my 84-year-old grandmother that was had heart problems, wasn't doing 100%. So I was the guy that, no, I can't go out. I can't even meet you on the street. Because if you go out, you're going to die. Because if you breathe the air, you're going to die. Like, I was there. I was messed up mentally because of that. And then, obviously, times pass. You learn a little bit more about it and you change, right? So picture a super sociable guy. A guy that would go out every single night. Lots of friends. Loved meeting people. Super sociable and everything. All of a sudden, you're stuck with your grandmother for a year and a half. You don't have contact. You don't have physical contact with anyone. Whether it's a friend, whether it's a girl, whether it's a relative for a hug. I'm Italian, bro. If I don't touch and kiss 5 people a day, I feel like I'm missing out on something. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. We hug and kiss everyone. Yeah. For me, not being able to do that, I fall into what I realized after a few months was depression, which isn't sadness. Sadness and depression are 2 completely different things. I experienced real depression. I started having panic attacks. I was smoking a shitload of weed, bro. So much. It was ridiculous how much I used to smoke.
Coping.
Yeah, man. I'm talking, I would smoke 7, 8, 9 joints a day. Wake up, smoke. Breakfast, smoke. Workout, smoke. Lunch, smoke. On repeat. And I always felt like I was still go on autopilot. I quit weed 4 years ago, cold turkey.
Good for you.
Cold turkey. And I would never be able to live the life I live right now, even if I had a joint a day. No way, man. And I never would have thought that about me a few years ago. Like I was the weed guy in Italy. I was always the one smoking, making my friends smoke, having a good time, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, cool. Which I was, don't get me wrong. Like I don't have any regrets, but COVID, smoking a lot, gained 40 pounds, said, okay, let's do something about this. Started working out like a maniac, lost them all, felt in the best shape of my life. My arm was half the size of what it is right now, but I felt amazing. Because that's also another thing that I struggle with a lot in life, which is physical appearance. But that's another point that we can touch.
Body dysmorphia?
Yeah, big
It's
time.
a real thing for a lot
Huge,
of guys.
man. Huge.
I have the same issue.
Massive. To this day, it'll never go away.
Yep.
Never go away.
Bro, I posted a photo recently of after a run, and my shirt was off because it was so hot in Toronto, and I had just come back from a 15-kilometer run, drenched, and I took a photo. And when I tell you I obsessed after I posted it as a story for hours about like, how weird do I look in it?
Yeah.
Am I showing off, or is this like, should I not be? Am I like trying to flaunt what I don't have? Like, it's hard.
Yeah. I know the feeling, man. But yeah, going back to that, like I fall into depression, bro. Like I felt like, what is this? What's happening? What am I doing? And then the panic attack started. I had my first panic attack, bro. I am not religious. I do not believe in any God. Atheist, I think is the word, right?
Yep.
Ateo. I know I don't have an accent, but sometimes I struggle with the simplest words. Don't judge me, anyone. You too. I don't believe in any of that. I believe in energies. I believe in infinite dimensions. I started praying, bro, to like God, the guy with the beard and the long hair. I said, please don't let me die right now. I was sitting down after I had a smoke. No, I was lying down on the floor watching a Roma game. And we were losing. My grandmother used to laugh, saying, oh, it's because Roma was losing and that happened to you. I have this panic attack. And all of a sudden I'm on the chair. I'm shaking. I'm like seeing the world ending. I start praying, dude. No, call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance. Of course, she didn't call an ambulance. She called my Zia, my aunt. Then the ambulance arrived. Said, I'm dying here. This is it. Dude, ever since that happened to me, every day for the past 2-3 months, I felt like I was about to have another panic attack. I couldn't enter my living room. And that is when I locked myself up in my room and I didn't leave it. Like I was afraid of going downstairs, and that's when the depression hit. And my mind stopped working. My body stopped working. Wink, wink. And I said to myself, yeah, and I have no shame in saying this, like, I'm never going to have sex in my life ever again. I'm done. It's pretty clear what we're talking about here. And again, I'm having no contact with anyone. I wasn't even on Tinder or networks or whatever. Like, I lose my sex drive. I lose my everything. Said, oh, well, he's gone. It's all good. Nothing's going to happen here. And then all of a sudden, I'm doing this cooking class. Because at the time I was working, before COVID, I was working for this other company called Cucinato. At Cucinato, I was the head chef, so I prepared their meals that would be sent out to the clients. And then I would teach online cooking classes. One day we do this cooking class. And the last 10 minutes, I see this gorgeous, blonde, blue eye, glasses. One of the most beautiful smiles I've seen in the bottom right corner. My girlfriend right now. I felt a calling, man. I said, you know what? It's time to get out there. Like, you're not there mentally, but let's go. Push yourself. Hey guys, thanks you for joining the class. This is my Instagram. If you want to send me pictures of the pasta we made. My girlfriend's name is Steph. Her sister Christina joined the class. Christina adds me on Instagram. Like, oh fuck. I wanted the other one. 10 minutes later, Steph adds me. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Fuck. We start talking and we go out on a date. 2 weeks after we start talking. Mm-hmm. First date, second date, third date. It happens. It was terrible, man. It was so bad. It was embarrassing. I had a panic attack in my second date with her. I said, it's gone. She's like, it's all good. Don't worry. I'm here. And that, like, that's when I say she saved me. Like, seeing someone that so early at the beginning in a relationship was ready to accept that negative part made me realize that it was all up here. The second I had her being okay, dude, I know this is very loud. I'm sorry, but like, I was back, bro. I was back. Like nothing ever happened. And that just taught me how important mental health is. Because I thought I had a physical problem. Dude, I went to doctors. I went to, what's the doctor? Oh my God, so se llama? The no, that's for
like fertility?
No. Whatever, a specialized doctor.
Okay.
Think, I have physical problems. I need to take medication. And all of a sudden she's there and she's like, dude, it's all good. You have nothing. I'm here for you. All of a sudden I was reborn. And again, like, I realized how important being okay up here is what you need in life and how that affects the whole body.
The body is a manifestation of what's happening upstairs.
Big time. Big time. And that's why I say, and I've said this 5 times, this person saved my life from depression, from anxiety, that I'm happy to say is almost gone. I have a tattoo for that, man. This is the, when I was going through that phase, like, I always felt this constant demon, this constant, like, what's the word? Menace, ready to attack. And that was the anxiety and the panic attack. When you think of negativity, you think of a snake, right? So I got this viper looking at me. He's like, dude, I'm ready to attack any second.
It's a reminder.
Yeah. But the snake is dying. See how it's like
fading
away? But it's a reminder. It's here. Every tattoo I have has a meaning, like story of my life. And I look at it every day. I'm like, yeah, it's still there. And it will always be for the rest of my life. But then I look at this part. It's like, yeah, it's fading away. It's all good. And now it's all good. I'm happy to say it's all good.
So if there's somebody listening or watching this episode and they're in that dark hole that you were in and they don't have a Steph and they don't know what to do, what would you say to them?
I didn't have a Steph when this happened.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to deal with it. It's terrible and cynical to hear, the whole cynicism that came from all of that, right? Yeah, sometimes you just got to live with it and cope with it and try to make the best out of it. Whatever the best is.
You're not wrong. The only way out is through.
That's it. I have my battles. You have your battles. Yeah. I can't tell you the right way. You know what the right way is. Yeah, maybe you're going to have a few years of shit and depression. Guess what, man? When you get out of that, life's better than it will ever be. In my experience, finding someone, and this doesn't have to be a partner. It can be a friend. It can be a therapist. It can be a priest. It can be a family member. It can be some random person you meet on King Street, drunk as fuck at 4 a.m. in the morning on Saturday night. Speaking it out, like speaking about your emotions is equally as important as finding someone that is willing to accept them.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Fuck. That's very important. I was lucky to have that. Not to say that I didn't have family that I could speak to that about, because my family was aware of this, whatever was happening to me. When I had my first very bad meltdown, when I remember I took a picture of myself. I don't know where it is. Like I took a picture of myself and I said, I'm officially depressed. And I remember calling the family priest, Father Jim, rest his soul. He was like the most badass priest you'll ever see in life, man. So he looked like, fuck, what's his name? Les Gold from Pawn Shop, Hardcore Pawn. Okay. Like imagine that kind of guy, but wearing the collar. Like so cool, man. So badass. I called him, I was like, oh Jim, I have this problem. I need to speak to someone. Day after, there was a therapist ready for me. It kind of helped speaking with that person. But that person really didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. Like all I had to hear was everything is okay and everything is going to pass. And maybe it's an energy thing as well.
But sometimes it's as simple as that.
That's it. That's all you need.
You just need to know that it's going to be okay. And if you're unable to get to that conclusion yourself, hearing it from someone you trust, telling you, hey, it's okay.
That's the thing.
You're going to be okay.
That's the thing. And me and my girlfriend, Steph, we got so close so fast because picture this. I'm living with my grandmother. She's living with her parents. She has a car. She's driving from Oakville. We were hanging out in her car for 4 or 5 hours at a time, like 16-year-olds, for our first 5 or 6 dates. So we bonded so quickly, man. Like, now there's social media and phones and that crap. It's not easy to find someone that you can have a conversation with the way we're having it right now, looking at you straight in the eye for hours.
Yeah.
People forgot how to do that. I was forced to do that with her because it was the only way of hanging out. So that made us super tight instantly.
Not only that, but you're vulnerable. You're authentic. You're raw. You're not putting on a show.
No.
You can't distract with the fancy restaurant for the date.
No.
You can't distract with the way you're dressed because you're sitting in a car. That doesn't matter.
That's it, man.
It's just person to person, human to human.
Exactly.
And you're telling me that if she came to you and said, I want to get married, you'd say no?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's 51-49 right now. Like I'm leaning more towards the no right now. But again, like my nonna would say, if you find the right girl, you're gonna do it. And it's not the right girl. I know she's the right girl. I don't have to look anywhere else anymore. Thank God. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll wake up. It's funny because as much as I say no, I'm not gonna do it. If you ask me where you're gonna do it, I know exactly where it's gonna happen. I have it pictured. It's there, man.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
We'll see.
You're gonna do it because that was you 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was literally the way you're talking. That was me 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a moment. I told you the story. It was the Trevi Fountain moment, and that was the moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't planning it. I wasn't thinking about it. I was trying not to think about it, and something just happened in front of me. And you know what? Maybe it doesn't, but I don't know. I'm a believer. I'm a sucker for love, and I think
Big
that
time.
when you find the person who makes you better than you are, but also humbles you when your ego's too big.
Yeah, big time.
That's a person you fight for.
Yeah, man.
But brother, I really appreciate you making time to chat
course.
with me and for sharing your story and
Absolutely.
being honest and vulnerable. And
yeah.
I think it's powerful because, when we were talking about social media, what people see on your Instagram is a fraction of who you are.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And I think that this conversation perfectly exemplifies that.
Mm-hmm.
Your social media does not tell the story of the kid that had to overcome failure, feel like a failure, the kid that overcame a panic attack in his grandmother's living room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, social media it's a movie. It's the interesting parts of life with the boring parts cut out.
Very true. That's all it is.
It's us showing people what we want them to see. But this is real.
And I love that you're doing this, man. It's like, this is amazing.
Thank you.
And I hope that this really helps people. I hope it really does, because
we see the messages every day.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, continue doing this, man, because it's
young guys reaching out saying, "Hey, I've had thoughts of killing myself today," and saw an episode with my favorite musician talking about how he almost did that and how he took a different path.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to try something different. I had this one message of a guy who was like, today was my birthday and I woke up with the intention of getting high and drunk all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an episode with so-and-so and I had really admired that guest of yours. And instead, today's going to be the day that I start exercising and
That's
changing
awesome.
my life around. It's just like those small little messages that you're like, this is the why.
This
is the
man.
reason we exist.
That's awesome.
And it doesn't happen without conversations and amazing individuals like yourself being willing to share your story, because in the same way you said, talking out that emotion makes you feel it, makes you see it, makes you able to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
You sharing your story is validation to the person on the other side of this podcast, listening, watching, who feels maybe alone and goes, "Oh, I'm not the only one."
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Like, it's realizing that, yeah, you're not the only one. There's so many. You look at 10 guys, I'm sure 5 of them have problems.
Yep.
Or more.
Yeah.
But no, you can't say that. I'm guilty of watching these stupid fucking reality shows like Love is Blind and what's it called? Fucking not Temptation Island. That's too much. Too Hot to Handle. And that. But I watch them with Steph. Like, we love it. We have
to
such
add
a
the disclaimer.
Yeah. Let me make it very clear to everyone here, dude. We like it's so funny. I just love watching that stuff.
The Love is Blind season with Mila, and we were hooked on it.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
But my point is, there's always that scene where, and I told her this, and I don't want to, too late. I could talk for hours here. I'm loving this, bro. I want to come back. There's a lot to unleash. And this is very helpful for me too. This is kind of cool. Good job. There's always the episode where they bring in the family.
Yes.
Right? And the dude's, "Oh, you're going to make me cry. Oh, I'm about to cry." Why do you have to even say that?
Just do it.
Fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Or just acknowledging in front of the cameras, "Hey, I'm about to cry. Hey, I'm crying." Yeah, man, you are. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, you don't even have to say it. It just happens.
Yeah. And I think the more we see that, the more the next generation of young men go, "Oh, it is okay."
It's amazing, man.
It's such a cathartic experience to just finally let that shit out.
I love it, dude.
It was, you know, what's funny is, you know, you talked about taking a photo. I'll show you a photo afterwards. It's in my TED Talk. I took a photo on my lowest night, on the lowest night of my life. And it was after I finally broke down and couldn't hold it in anymore. And doing that was enough of a cathartic experience. I think I'm using that word right, but it was enough of a good experience that I took a photo and was like, this is my lowest, and now everything from here is up. And that day was the day I changed. And to your point, I am not who I am today. None of this exists if I didn't do that.
Big time.
And that's why I always encourage guys. I'm like, if you're feeling it, fucking feel it.
Yeah.
If you gotta
100%.
cry, cry. If you gotta scream, scream. But let it out. Don't hold it in. Because holding it in is gonna make it worse.
Isn't it just like starting a fitness journey and looking at a picture of your fat self?
Same thing.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever else in life.
Brother, I really appreciate you coming, man.
100%.
And we are going to do a part 2.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.